What is up, beauties? My name, of course, is Burnsy, and welcome back to YouTube Stories, a series where I go through all of the dirty details of my experiences on YouTube. And today, just as the title suggests, we will be talking about how YouTube saved my life. So we'll start several months before I opened my YouTube channel. I had just left college. I was going to school for TV, radio, marketing sort of classes, and it just wasn't motivating me. It wasn't interesting, and I just didn't want to be there. And so in the summer of 2010, I moved home with absolutely no idea what direction I wanted to go in my life. No clue whatsoever. I was kind of stuck. So living back at home with no job, that was not going to be acceptable to my parents, and so I had to find some work while I figured out what in the world I wanted to do with my life. And luckily, one of my best friend's dads was a manager at a bank that sold homeowners insurance. Now, I wasn't a licensed agent. It was considered an internship, but it was a paid internship, and it actually paid pretty decent for an internship. Most of them are unpaid or very low paid. This one paid $13 an hour, and all I had to do was basically answer the phone, take down some information, and pass it on to a licensed agent. So obviously not the most interesting or rewarding position to be in, but it was making some money while I figured myself out. And I worked there from June till about October when that internship ended. And that is when I moved positions within the same bank from a homeowner's insurance intern to a retail bank teller. And I'll spare you the boring details of that job and just jump right into how I decided it was time to try YouTube. That November is when Call of Duty Black Ops came out, and I came across YouTube looking for videos on information on the game, and I came across Call of Duty Black Ops videos with gameplay commentary behind them, and it was done by gentlemen named CNanners and Hutch. And I was clicking on every single video that they would upload. I don't know if I was so much as interested in the gameplay that was happening, but I was more curious about how are they getting gameplay? How are they recording this? How are they putting their voices behind it? And wow, they get paid for this? Which just piqued my curiosity more, and I searched more of YouTube for Call of Duty videos and came across T. Martin and White Boy 7th Street. And I was saying, how many people are doing this? I've always been told that I have like a radio voice. I could do gameplay commentary. So my YouTube searches ended up showing me how to record gameplay, how to record commentary behind it, and how to post it to YouTube. And I figured I might as well just give this a go. So fast forward to January of 2011, the birth of the Minnesota Burns YouTube channel. And I faced some problems when I started this channel. I'm not broke, but I don't really have the money to invest in a lot of high quality equipment, and to be honest, there wasn't really any spectacular equipment out there at this time. So I was working on a laptop from 2006, didn't even have a gigabyte of RAM. I don't even know what a graphics card is at this point. I never really did PC gaming, so I'm a complete amateur coming into this. So I went out and got a Dazzle HD. Yes, a Dazzle HD. It's not HD, that's a lie. Complete garbage quality. And I said, I can't post this to YouTube if I'm trying to make an impression on viewers. I just can't. And so I spent what little money I had on a Hauppauge HD PVR. Go look it up if you've never heard of it before. This thing is a monstrosity. Just ginormous. Takes up all of your desk. Complete nonsense. But it was enough to get 720p gameplay, and away we went. So if you need some cringe in your life, go back and look at my very first video that I ever uploaded. It is complete crap. It's recorded on like a $5 microphone. The gameplay is not that good, and I have the most monotone voice you've ever heard in your life. Just a completely terrible, boring video. But it's where I started. So let's go into how the channel began to grow and eventually explode. And it may seem like an embarrassing thing to admit this, but I have absolutely no shame whatsoever. So I would go to basically every notable YouTuber that had started to establish an audience. I'm talking like T. Martin, White Boy 7th Street, CNanners, Woody's Gamertag, Hutch, and I would just go on their videos and be like, hey man, check me out. And I would just click the thumbs up on my own comment, try to push it to the top comments, and I would get like 5 extra video views here, 10 extra views here. I would get like, I got a few hundred views now. Wow, this is really kicking off. And at this point, it's starting to be known by the viewers that people are getting paid to do these videos. Not me at this point, but you know, the big guys like CNanners, Hutch, T. Martin, White Boy 7th Street. And so I actually made a video being like, how much do these YouTubers make? And it was a complete guess with no research whatsoever. Basically made it all up. Really, well, not completely made up. I educated guesses, let's say that. And then I would go to T. Martin and White Boy 7th Street videos and be like, hey, want to know how much these guys make? Come check out my video. And that made the views jump up a little more. I know this seems completely scummy now, but you had to get down in the dirt back in the day. And I honestly don't think you can hold that against me for doing things like that, because people really got down in the dirt in YouTube back in the day. They were people who would say, hey, like this video, comment on this video, be entered to win an Xbox 360 or a PlayStation 3. And the way that YouTube pushed people up to the front page back then was based on likes and comments. But the thing was, gaming was not a category that was on the front page. And so they would miscategorize their videos. So me going on there being like, hey, come check out my channel, not too bad, right? But on YouTube, doing things like that can only get you so far. You got to do something big. And that's where I came up with the idea for Angry Kids on Xbox Live. And it really, really sparked the channel. I was playing gun game one day, and I realized that, wow, if I knife them, they go back a weapon, and I'm getting these angry reactions. What if I turn it into a video? And then we have my probably most famous video I've ever made, Angry Mom on Xbox Live, where I asked her to join me in the shower, and I received maybe the angriest reaction I have ever gotten. And this is where the shoutouts sparked my channel into orbit. So the way YouTube worked on promoting new people and really sparking a large audience for some people is that you needed the help of someone else who already had an established audience, and maybe that's somewhat true today as well. But back then, if you liked a video, it would show up in other subscribers' feeds of the person that liked that video. So Tom Syndicate, the Syndicate Project, liked my video, and it just exploded. I can't remember how many views it was exactly, but there were subscribers just flowing in. Maybe not blowing up by today's standards, but I'm saying like a few hundred subscribers here, 500 subscribers here, a day with over 1,000. The video views are starting to skyrocket. And then I got a shout out from Guns for Hire. And I don't know if you remember who he was, but he used to do gaming news videos, was relatively big for the time. And I found out about that while I was live streaming. I was experimenting with Twitch back in its early days, and I was just getting message after message after message after message after message, video views, video views, video views. I had people who worked at Machinima starting to hit me up saying, we got your video up in our office, we're all laughing so hard, your videos are amazing. And I was thinking to myself, well, maybe I can get a partnership, because I really didn't know how it worked at all. And I was wondering, well, how do I go about maybe asking for one? Do they just offer you one? What do I really do? And then one day I get a message on Skype from Chaos X Silencer. Now some of these things that I mentioned are going to overlap into different separate stories. So Jimmy was the partnering manager at Yaush, and I will have a whole entire video on that network. But briefly, they were like a sub-network, a sub-gaming network, or something like that, that was associated with Fullscreen, which is still around today. And Jimmy was like, we want to partner you, we want you in our network, here it is, here's some of our video pages, here are other people that are involved in it, you're going to sign a contract, and you're going to get advertisements on your videos, and you're going to get paid now. And I really didn't know anything about business. Business on YouTube was in its infancy. No one really knows what they're doing, but I thought to myself, you're telling me that you are going to pay me to upload videos, there's going to be advertisements on my videos, and I am actually going to receive a paycheck for this. Sign me up. So that was a massive life-changing event for me. I really had no idea what direction I wanted to take my life in, and now I'm working at the bank as a teller, but now I have a secondary income where I'm getting paid for my videos. Maybe I have some direction on where I want to go. Now, it wasn't a lot of money at first. I was not getting millions of views at this point. It was just kind of, in its infancy, working our way, but it was a couple $100s here, a couple $100s there, and then it really exploded, and I actually can't pinpoint exactly what happened. I think it just sort of snowballed out of nowhere, and the real money was starting to roll in. And I'm not going to give away actual numbers on what I was getting paid, but it was quit your job money. It was, this is what you do now money. You no longer work at the bank. That's a waste of your time. You need to focus your energy here. And this became my life. So there are some negatives on this, and what I mean by that is that this was all that I did. I would wake up late because I stayed up late or early into the morning, like 4 o'clock in the morning, trying to get content, and then editing all day, and then doing it all over again, even on weekends. My entire social life took a pretty massive hit, and looking back on it now, it kind of explains where the burnout came from. But I was making real money, I was able to buy things that I wanted, I was able to live in a nice apartment, and then I even bought myself a BMW. Not only did I buy a BMW, I bought it with cash. I paid the entire thing off. And you can maybe think of that as being braggy about it or showing off, but I think to me it was like a physical thing in front of me that proved to myself that I accomplished something. It was kind of like, fuck not being able to know what you're going to do with your life. I accomplished something. So in a big way, YouTube saved my life. I have no idea what direction I would have gone in with my life if this hadn't happened. And I do acknowledge the fact that a lot of luck went into blowing up on YouTube. It took a lot of hard work, but it also took a little bit of luck. Or, I think, in my opinion, a lot of luck. But that's just kind of how life works sometimes. I was very, very fortunate, but I would not trade it for anything. And I'm very excited to be back and creating daily content. I'm having a great time, and I hope we can grow this channel once again. YouTube did have its ups and downs, some frustrating and stressful moments, but it saved my life. It was a huge accomplishment for me. I went from having no idea what I wanted to do to a massive, massive accomplishment. Thanks for watching YouTube Stories today. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like rating below and click that notification bell so you never miss a video. Have yourself an absolutely joyous, wonderful, beautiful rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.